Well, since you mentioned yoga, I do have two questions about yoga. In China, the mainstream yoga practitioners, they are more seeing yoga as a physical exercise to help them like get
I thought that's only in
slimmer.
America.
No, the same everywhere. Get weight loss or enhance their health. So but for advanced practitioners, they may want to see how their practice can go inward to change the inner world. So do you have any suggestion on that? How do you do yoga from outward to inward?
The word yoga means union. Are you breathing right now?
Yes.
You are. But most of the time, most human beings are not conscious that they're breathing. Breath means, on one level, you're in union with the rest of the atmosphere. That's what it means. If you breathe, you're breathing in the world in many ways. Today there is substantial evidence to show there is enormous memory in the air that you breathe. It has gone through so many things, everything is there in some sense. So, when you breathe, you're in union with the atmosphere around us. When you eat, you're in union with the earth which you walk upon. When you drink water, you're in contact with everything around you. But it's not in your experience. If, for example, if you were conscious, what you exhale, these trees are inhaling, what they're exhaling, you're inhaling. Suppose you were conscious, not in your mind, not as a thought, but as a living experience. You understood, you experienced that one part of your lungs is actually the tree. If you experience this, do I have to teach you what is the right thing to do about the tree? Do I have to tell you?
No.
No. In United States, generally these things are referred to as woods because they need furniture at home. Their homes are built with wood, so they need wood. So whoever came here first, they saw the tree and they called it a wood. If you had no compulsions of furniture, if you really looked at a tree and inhaled what the tree is exhaling, you would see it as a part of your life. And it is. Will you realize this after all the trees are gone and your life is going? Or will you realize it now? This is the question. This is not just about… I'm not talking ecology, I'm talking about fundamental life-making material. The water that you drink, the air that you breathe, the food that you eat, the earth that you walk upon, these are all life-making material. This is your life, spread out there. When you gather it, you think it's me. When it's thrown around, you think it's not you. Yoga means you experience everything as yourself. Or in other words, breaking the boundaries of your physical boundary that you are in. But now, a whole lot of people are using yoga to consolidate their boundary. They think they're doing yoga to build abs. Instead of opening up the boundaries of your body, you're trying to consolidate the boundaries of your body. This is like using an airplane to dig into the earth. You know, if you want to dig into the earth also, there are borers which rotate. So you get an airplane where propellers are rotating and you try to dig into the earth, you will realize that it's not made for that purpose and obviously you will be frustrated, and that's all that's happening right now. Every day you get up and twist and turn, after some time you'll get bored and say, hell with it. And you'll do something else after some time. Only if you use an instrument for the purpose for which it is created. If I ask you to unscrew this screw in the furniture, if you try with your hands, all your nails will go. I will allow you to use your teeth, they will also go. But if I give you a simple screwdriver, you will get it out, isn't it? I gave you a screwdriver, you don't know what to do with it, so you put it in your ears and turned it. Damage may happen, well-being will not happen. But a screwdriver can be fantastic if you know how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, it works against you. So I'm using a very simple basic example, but yoga is a very complex, very complex instrument or a technology, far more complex than most people ever imagine. If you use it well, you can make the entire cosmos happen within you. That's what it means. Yoga means union. Union means if you sit here, removing the boundaries of your physical nature, you can sit here experiencing the entire cosmos within yourself. But now, you're using the instrument of yoga to build a wall that nobody can crack.
So how can yoga create something like that? So
That's why I'm coming to
magically?
China.
Oh, okay. Because, for example, we are in a mountain pose, and if we do it as just asanas, or we do it as you say as a tool to feel the nature, feel that we are part of the nature, or we are one with the nature. Can you tell the difference, or what's the trick? Is in the breathing, or
No.
how you do it?
First thing is, there is no trick. The problem is in the transmission, the way it is transmitted. See, if I give you a flower, it is alive, it's full of life. You will have to care for it in a certain way. When I find you don't know how to hold a flower, there are people like this, I give them a flower, they will grab it like this. Those who don't know what it is, they will grab it like this, flower will die right there in their hands. So then, what to do? Then we will give you a plastic flower. All over China, there are lots of plastic flowers. In every hotel room I go, I see plastic flowers everywhere. Because for people who are unconscious, plastic flowers are best. Plastic flower only looks like a flower, but it's just a piece of plastic, it's not a flower. Flower means it is the peak of that life. A plant is there, what is the peak of its life? Flowering, isn't it? It's the peak. Flower is a representation of the peak that life can attain to. But you make a plastic flower and give it because it's convenient, and you can hold it whichever way you want, you can even beat your children with it, if they're not obedient. Now, you have a piece of plastic which you think is flower. So this is what is happening to yoga. Without the subjectivity, just the instructions are going. So you have a stillbirth. Isn't it better not to get pregnant than to have a stillbirth? So if fitness is what you're looking for, please go swim in the Yellow River, play tennis, climb a mountain, do something for fitness. Yoga definitely gives you fitness, not just physical fitness, it gives you fitness on all levels, but that is not the reason why you practice it. You practice yoga because you want to become one with everything. So in the transmission, there must be subjectivity. Right now, we have become slaves of objectivity because we are not using any other form of intelligence within us except the intellect. If you use only the intellect, is it true that intellect is useful only if it's sharp like a knife? You want a dull intellect or a sharp intellect?
Sharp.
Sharp. So it's a knife. Now you use a knife to stitch, you will only tear it further. Knife is not an appropriate instrument to stitch. If you want to stitch, you need something else. But now you're using a knife to stitch, it's not going to work. So, yoga, unfortunately, is going through this phase around the world that only the physical aspect, a stillborn child is being delivered. People think they got a baby, they don't have a baby, they have a dead baby. It still looks like a baby, of course, but it's not alive, it's not going to grow. If you have a plastic flower, it's not going to blossom, isn't it? So this is not going to blossom. Maybe you will get abs if you stretch and turn enough, but you are strengthening the wall instead of opening up the wall.
So
No, I'm only talking about the wall of your body, not the China wall.
yeah, okay. So the critical point is not how you do it, but how it was transmitted to you?
Both. It is equally important. How it is transmitted is vital, but how you receive it is also important. How you practice it is also important. Without bringing those dimensions into the process, if you just bring a bunch of instructions, then it becomes a very objectified yoga. With this you may get physical fitness, but that is like using an airplane like a bullock cart. That which can fly, you make it crawl around, what is the use? If you see a bird whose wings are damaged and it cannot fly, do you feel sad about it? Yes?
Yes.
But if you see a buffalo without wings, you don't feel sad about it, isn't it? Because a buffalo is only supposed to do that. But when you see a bird which could fly and now it cannot fly, that saddens you, isn't it? If I was capable of becoming sad, looking at the yoga in the world, I would have become sad, but I've become incapable of becoming sad, so
So what makes Isha Yoga different from normal yoga?
subjectivity.
Can you elaborate more on subjectivity?
Isha Yoga is never taught by a professional teacher, never. Unless they hold it above their life, unless they hold it more important than their life, I will not let them teach Isha Yoga. Not as a profession, not as a hobby, not as entertainment, no. You must hold it as something more important than your life. Then only we will let you teach, because only then we can load subjectivity into the yoga that is offered. Otherwise, you will become professional. If people pay you more, you will do little more. If people pay you less, you will do little less. It'll not work like that. Once that calculation comes, it will not work. Right now it's working the way it's working because it's delivered through dedicated people who are willing to give their life for it.